Welcome to Founding Families. This will be attempt number 3 at the great, big world design adventure game thingy that I've been developing. That's also in previous videos gone under the name Grand Hotel and South Haven. So I've installed single player commands, which I haven't used in a while. There it is. As a result, I had to roll back to 1.6.2. I'm starting from scratch on a flat world, but I'm going to go into the other map and copy and paste objects and buildings as needed. But I wanted to start fresh, and unfortunately, rolling back to 1.6.2, I've lost some materials that I wanted to use, like stained glass in particular. It's a bit of end portal block there to give some light. So right now I've got it set so that it's going to stay nighttime. Because I've set that game rule. I've got this roundabout, which is going to result in a crossroads, and when the player starts, they will be instructed to come to the center of town, press this button, or otherwise activate it. I may put a bud switch and they'll plant a flower in front of a grave, or I don't know what the triggering is going to be. And when they press that button, one of these four sides will open. Right now I've got them color-coded. So we press the button. It's randomized. Red opens. That opens with a block on top of it because that is actually a stairs. Let me show you how that works. And also, it won't repeat. Once it's been activated, it's not reactivatable. So, down below, here's the mechanism. I press the button and one of four colors of wool pop out. This is a sorter. This row is empty. This row all has each one has get the bottom one, 18 in one. Let's see, there we go. Just resetting here. 18 in one, and then each one filled out. So this becomes a sorter. Not my invention. I looked it up. It's very simple. And the reason for 18 is that puts it right on the threshold of activating the next power level of the comparators. These output a strength of signal dependent upon how much stuff is in the hopper. And so right now, they don't quite reach to the next block here and activate this repeater. But one more block, and it will. So the block comes out, falls into there, and it either drops into the red, if it's red, but if it can't drop into there, it'll slide across to the next one. And that one will feed it blue, and so we've got the four colors, two to the front and two to the back. When I made it, I had it color-coded with colored glass, but that disappeared because I had to roll it back. So each of those four signals deactivates. Hang on. Deactivates one of these pistons and exposes the chest above, which will contain a book with instructions and possibly some tools or clothes or quest items. Right? In addition, as soon as any one of these four is activated, a little branch of the redstone comes out and activates this. All of this is just each of those four also activating this line of repeaters, which will power this line of torches, which will power the original sorting machine. And the way hoppers work is when there's power input into the hopper, it's locked. So once a color has been selected, the machine disables itself. Now, my thought is, depending on how the game goes, I may have it reactivate at the end in case someone wants to go through and play, say they play the black path. Their option then is open to come through and play a different color. My next step is to create the roads and infrastructure. I'm going to try and do this in a very orderly fashion. The town of South Haven was originally created very organically. It was done on a natural map with hills and valleys and forests and such that required a lot of clearing and filling in. And a lot of things had to be sort of twisted around to make room for geographical features that I had not chosen. So now, starting with a flat map, I can choose that. So I'm going to extend the roads. I'm going to, for the in-town parts, create street lights. I'm probably going to make a river. So there will need to be a bridge. I'm going to make some hills and some valleys and whatnot. The ground is, I think, 11 blocks deep or so that should be enough to get some variation on level. But I'm kind of stuck because the next thing I wanted to do was to create the streetlights. And so far, there's not a single design of streetlight that I like. That right there is a bit of end frame creating invisible from below light, so it kind of like the glass is lit. Now, if this wasn't 1.6, if it were 1.7, I could use a yellow stained glass, and it would look like it was creating yellow light. And that might look good, and I could do, one of these deals. It's very bland, sort of. Oh, it's on the sidewalk, so it can't live there. God, jeez. I don't have great depth perception in real life. It's a little frustrating to have problems with it in the game. But from below, that's an invisible light source, the end portal. It is, I think, block number 119. Tile null name in this particular scenario. I don't know. That's really bland. I don't know if that might be better. It's still really bland. Something like that. I don't know. Do you? And the problem with creative mode still exists. You make a select. What? Fuck you. Whoa. Why ever? 380 blocks. What the hell? Ah. So it was sort of clicking through space. I was unable to click on the end portal. Alright, now. Boink. There, was that so hard? Jeez. Yeah, I don't know. It's really bland. But unfortunately, what I see my brain doing is sort of obsessing on street lamps, and it's not gonna allow me to do other things like put in the post office or the subway. So one thing I can do, if I have any actual viewers, all like two of you, I'm gonna start making lists. So I'm gonna go in this direction. This is going to be kind of Silent Hill 3, so we're gonna go with a mall and a subway. Right? That doesn't really affect the story, just the setting. Right? And we're gonna do, say, over here. I'm gonna do South Haven Town. Right? So most of the small town elements are gonna wind up on that road. And I think this one is gonna be Woods and Wilds. Right? And I guess this will be the more residential then, in this direction. That makes sense? Although we may want a factory of some sort. That might be neat. Maybe at the end of the row here. So South Haven Town could have a factory or a mill. Alright. And what else? They're all going to lead to the Grand Hotel, or a version of the Grand Hotel. Using command blocks and teleportation, I can actually create this very out of order. I can create buildings that don't have to fit in the space, which is kind of neat. So I'm going to wrap it up, but first we're going to use Golden Hoe. Let's see, it's been a while. Let's see if I can remember how to do this properly. We're going to do brush, sphere, water 3, unknown command. Okay, is it only one slash now? Okay. And then we're going to do mask, grass, dirt. Right? So, definitely we're making a river is what this is. So definitely the woodsy area is going to have the river run through it, as it were. And the mill is going to have a river run through it. So I'm going to go way out here. There we go. I wish there were a better way to control water flow, Mr. Block. I don't think that block is really there. Alright. It would be nice to be able to have a directional water flow. Alright. Hehehe. Drown the piggies. Alright. So notionally, I should decide what direction this is flowing. We're going to go... Oh, it's a bit of a lag effect there. Alright. So this is the woods. I'm going to have... maybe... branch go this way. So this is... we're headed downstream now. And we've got a lake. I'm going to make a pond. It's gonna wind up with an island in the middle, I think, but not right away. Alright, got a big kind of irregular... Is that how that's phrased? No. the lake. A lake. Let's widen the river a bit and have a bit of a river island. That's very strange. Huh. Don't know what's going on here. Suddenly it's behaving differently. I don't know what that's about. And the river continues on its merry way. Probably widen at the corner there. Why is that one bit different? Okay. And I don't know, where's the so this is the mall and the subway, so it's not gonna go. Oh, maybe there's a sewer level? Okay, so there's a river, which means we'll need bridges. I think this lake is still too tiny. Pond. It is a pond, most assuredly. Leave that bit of island. Should get a map so we can sort of get a feel for what I've created and how it lines up. Unfortunately, I'm using coal blocks for the road, and those show up gray on a map, which I think is dumb. Right. Something like that. I'm going to have little camps or cabins on there. I may do the wilderness and not worry about the town for a little while. Okay, and this way we're gonna go. I don't know, I'm gonna have you come out of a mountain. So what happens next is, I meant for this to be fairly short, but alright, brush sphere grass 2. Alright, well, I'll probably zip that somewhat. But there it is. That's what I'm working on now. Merry Christmas to you if I successfully get this uploaded on Christmas Day in your time zone.